Hello again from Wichita. Today is Wednesday, August 6th, so it's my 5th day here in Wichita, the 3rd day that I was at the Hansa Center. And there's actually not a whole lot new to say today. I did the same, it's sort of the same routine each day. You go to the clinic at whatever time they tell you. Each evening they tell you what time to come the next morning. And then they do all the same therapies. They're not necessarily in the same order, but you're just doing all the therapies and you see your doctor. That's what you do every day, and it's just all in different order depending on what else is going on, who else needs what, and so this morning I had to be there at 9. I did the ST8 and the Valkian, and then I did the Lux, then I had the power plate, then the sauna. No. After the Lux, I saw the doctor, and then I did the power plate, then I did the sauna, then I did the ionic foot cleanse, then I had lunch, then I went back just for a massage, and I was done early today. It was about 3:30, which was really nice. It was, at the first 2 days I didn't have to be there till 10:30 in the morning, but that meant that I was there till almost 5. And I've been up just basically waiting till it's time to go to the clinic. So it was nice that this morning I could go to the clinic right away, and then I had more time here. It's a little after 5 right now, and I've already just been relaxing in the hotel room. So that's been really nice. I've definitely enjoyed it. The one thing that does change is some of the therapies focus on different areas, or you might do it a little bit differently. Like the Lux today was on my kidneys. The ST8, they've moved around different places. And then the massage, she doesn't necessarily do the same thing every day. The massage is interesting because I'm accustomed to really deep tissue therapeutic massages, and that was kind of what I was expecting. Because this is a clinic, it's not a relaxation place, it's not a spa. But it's actually, I wouldn't say what she's doing is relaxing me. It's not tensing me, but it's not like the deep tissue muscle releasing that I've been used to. It's more, I don't know exactly, she just is feeling around on my body, and whatever my body needs is pretty much what she's doing in order of what seems to be most important, but it's a little more gentle. It hasn't been painful, so that's good. And I guess it makes sense because when I would have those really deep tissue massages, you certainly wouldn't want another one the next day. Certainly you wouldn't want one every day for 2 weeks. You maybe once a week. So it makes sense then when I thought about it, that they're not going to beat you up in a massage and then have you come back the next day and have another massage where you get beat up. It's much gentler than that. And my doctor appointment was a little different. I got one new, it's a pill actually that I got today. I shouldn't say pill because it's not a medicine, but it's for thyroid and pituitary stuff. And then he tested my supplements I was currently taking. Can you say that? That doesn't seem, that seems like incorrect grammar. The ones I was taking prior to coming here. And only half of them do I need to keep taking according to what my body needs. And I actually expected that. There were some that I knew they had helped right away, and I could tell that they weren't doing anything anymore, but that's the way when you're really healing your body, that's the way it works. You take something until your body has healed that thing or is no longer deficient in something or whatever it is, depending on what it is that you're taking. So I was not surprised, actually, that about half of them were, well, there's a word I'm trying to think of, but that I don't need them anymore. They're not going to hurt me if I wanted to keep taking them, but there's no benefit, really, to continuing to take them. Well, then after we worked on those things, Actually, no. The first thing we did, he had me lay face down and he put some magnetic plates in two different, actually, I don't know. I only felt two. He might have done more places on my back. And it was to increase my individual bioresonance signature, he said. So just more of like reestablishing the proper polarities and things like that in my body. And then he did something with, I don't know what all the machines were that he used. One of them, he said, this is like a jackhammer, and it was not in how hard it hit my body. It didn't hurt, but it did, like, just like, it was actually shaped kind of like a staple gun, sort of. A little bit fatter and just bigger. And he took it along my spine, and it just went, boom, 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 up and down my spine. He did that a few times. I don't know if that was the same kind of deal as what he was doing with the magnetic, or with the magnetic plates, or what. He didn't say specifically. But I think all that stuff that we were doing today was for the same reason, which was working with the bioresonance signature. Then he did fascia release. He didn't call it fascia release. He worked with the fascia in my body to find areas where fascia is like a really thin layer of tissue under your skin. Like if you ever make chicken from a whole chicken and it has skin on it, and then just under the skin, but before the meat, there's this little filmy layer. That's fascia. And in your body, it can fold over the top of itself. And then your body spends huge amounts of energy trying to straighten it out. So he was working on straightening the fascia out. And he actually said that emotional stuff often gets trapped in the fascia. And so sometimes after they've done this or while they're doing it, someone might maybe just start crying and you don't know why. So you just let yourself cry and let it out, and and then you move on. So we talked about emotions in that realm today. I told him that last night, when I was a kid, something I really struggled with was fear and just feeling really alone at night. And I still have trouble with it quite frequently, and I try to combat it spiritually speaking. But last night, it's been a while, and since I've been in Kansas, I haven't really had thoughts that made me afraid or thoughts of being alone. But all of a sudden, right about bedtime, this wave of that, what it felt like when I was a kid, the loneliness, the aloneness, and the fear just really came over me. The fear thing actually came over me too the night before some. And then again last night, and then the aloneness was a really big deal last night, and I was like, man, this is so crazy. But I suspected that it might have been linked to some of the therapies yesterday, and so when he told me about how fascia holds emotional stuff, I remembered that because it was morning and I didn't remember. Even as big of a deal as it was for me the night before, I had forgotten it by the time I got to see him. And so then I told him, and he said, yeah, one of the other therapies I'd had the day before, which was the power plate, actually does that too. It kind of will do some things with the fascia, and so it very likely, having done the power plate, had shaken some stuff loose. Although I didn't have the power plate the night before, so it's probably, other places in my body where some of this is being stored too. But it's really interesting. And along those lines, I forgot to say yesterday when I had my massage, and a lot of it was releasing the lymph system, and then a little bit of it was just working with the muscles and structural stuff. And now this morning it was even more obvious while he was working with the fascia that a lot of my pain, I've thought all my pain was in my muscles. Some of my sorest areas in my upper body have been the lymph areas, and some in the lower body too. But then the lower body, a lot of my pain was in the fascia. And again, certainly plenty of muscle issues too, but it was really interesting and surprising to me to learn that there were these other things also that were causing a lot of the pain and soreness and just constant discomfort. So it was good to learn, and just made me all the more glad that I'm here where they're addressing everything. It's not like I have to figure out what's wrong and then go to one practitioner for one thing and go to another practitioner for another thing and then go see this other guy for something else, because it's exhausting and expensive. And not that this isn't expensive, but at least it's one lump sum I'm paying them, and they're taking care of all of this stuff, and it's really, I'm really grateful. I'm really glad. Every day I'm more and more glad that I came, and every day I'm more and more, I don't want to say I regret, but more and more I just am like, man, if I could have come here years ago, how much suffering would have been avoided, how much more life I would have had, all the things that I've lost. I feel like I've lost my 20s to sickness. And I just think of, oh my gosh, all the years that have been lost and wasted, and I wished I could have come, when all this first started, when I was, around 10, but we can't go back, we can't change it, and I'm just glad I'm here now, because I'm still plenty young and have a lot of life that I can live, and I'm so grateful. I know, like I've said in a different video, I've been really miserable, and I know that other people have been more miserable for longer, and I feel for them, and I want them to be well too, and I'm so grateful that it's not going to come to that for me. It's been bad enough. It doesn't need to be worse. So I'm really glad, and I definitely recommend this place and this kind of treatment to anybody, even if you're well. Oh my gosh. I think that too, of people that I know who at least appear well, how it would be good to come and get checked out and put on a path, not just to being well, but to having optimum health. And that's the name of the center, the Hansa Center for Optimum Health. And oh my goodness, it would be amazing to have optimum health. And it's cool to know that it's possible. No matter how sick you've been, you can, I shouldn't say that. They can't help everybody, but they can help all, they can at least try, and they have the potential to help anyone. So anyway, that's a rant. But, yeah, the fascia release thing, it looks sort of like a hairdryer that was cut off. Had a handle like a hairdryer, and then it stuck out, but it was cut off pretty short. And it just basically vibrated, and he put that on different spots. So actually pretty similar to just like a handheld vibrating massager, except it was flat. It didn't have knobs. Usually massagers will have knobs on them. But we did that for a long time, and then he did something with the tangerine essential oil on my back. Gave me the supplement for the thyroid and the pituitary. Checked my supplements, and yeah, that was my doctor appointment. So I really enjoy my doctor, Dr. Strite. He was a farm kid, and he seems to be around my age. So it's we have a good time. I enjoy the time, and it's not heavy and serious and depressing like a lot of health stuff can be. It's been, not only have I made progress, and I'm really excited about that, and not only has it been therapeutic and all of those things that it should be, but it's also been pretty fun to be around these people. All the people, and then especially my doctor, are really fun people. So I'm glad of that. I'm going to be with these people for, I'm 3 days down, so another 7 days. But anyway, it's just a bonus that they're fun. I had a few things I had written my notes on that I'd forgotten to mention other days. The first day I forgot to mention that when Dr. Strite looked at my CRT, his name is Jonathan Strite. I don't think I said that yesterday. But anyway, I said his last name yesterday, but I didn't say his first name. He looked at my CRT results. He said that my gut and my teeth looked mostly good, and my gut looked really good. So I was glad to see that, to know that all of my efforts and money spent on eating clean, healthy, whole foods and taking the supplements Patrick's been working with. Dr. Patrick Flynn has been working with me on. I was glad to know that it had definitely, not that I doubted, I didn't doubt that it was helping, but it was looking really good. Just one spot that there's possibly problems with, but I think that might be, Dr. Streit thought it might be something in the intestine. I thought it might be something in the ovary because it was both in the same place on the body. But we haven't worked anymore with any intestinal things, but we've worked with the ovaries so far. Anyway, and then he said my teeth look good, and I told him that surprised me because I have very sensitive teeth, and I've had a lot of problems with my teeth. So, and the really good news, now the first night I was really exhausted, just really so tired. Last night I was really tired, but I didn't feel the same, just real deep exhaustion. It was more just kind of felt blah and drained. Today I do feel tired, definitely, but it's even, I feel right now anyway, I think I feel better than I did even last night. But the real good news was that I slept really well last night. It was so amazing and definitely unexpected. But I typically don't even try to go to bed till 11 o'clock because if I try to go before 11, doesn't matter how tired I am, I won't fall asleep. And if I try to go to bed too early, in fact, it makes it harder to go to sleep because I might doze off for a little while and it sort of uses up any tiny little sleep chemicals that might have been there. And then I really can't get to sleep for hours. So I just don't even bother trying to go to bed before 11 most of the time. But last night I did go to bed just before 10 to 10, 5 to 10, somewhere in there. And I fell asleep right away, and I slept almost 4 hours, I think. Got up, went to the bathroom, and then went back to sleep. I had a little difficulty getting back to sleep. I actually thought I might not at that point. And I thought, oh, great, sure, I slept really well for 4 hours. That's really exciting. But now what? I'm not going to sleep all the rest of the night? Ah, bummer. But I did fall asleep, and I slept another, 3.5 hours or so. And at that point, it was 20 to 6. And so when I looked at the clock, I thought, oh, sweet, I can go back to sleep again. But I had time to go back to sleep. But I had not quite slept 8 hours, but I usually, if I get 7 hours of sleep, that's been a good night's sleep. I mean, I don't want to use the word good, but I mean, that's about the most sleep I get, and that's the best that it usually is. I think last night was probably maybe slightly over 7 hours. I'm not sure. It's hard to remember now what happens in the middle of the night because you're groggy and everything, but it was almost 4 hours, I think, the first time, and then about 3.5 hours the second time. So anyway, those are details that are probably not that important, but yeah, what was I going to say? So I had a really hard time. I never really did fall back to sleep. I did doze off eventually for a little while, and then I just got up and got ready. But that was really exciting to have slept and to have slept well, especially considering I had drank a lot of water. My doctor said I need to up my water intake, which I knew. I know I used to be really good about drinking enough water, and then the last few years I haven't had enough of a real schedule structured life to pay attention well to my water intake, and I'm not excusing myself. I certainly could figure out a system, but I just haven't. So anyway, I knew I needed to drink more water, so I was upping my water yesterday, especially because of all the detoxing stuff that we're doing. So I expected to get up extra to have to use the restroom, and I didn't. And then not only did I not have to get up extra, but I didn't even get up as many times as I usually do. So that was really exciting. And Dr. Streit said, that actually what might have been happening was not necessarily that I had to get up because I had to use the restroom, but because I might have had like kidney pain, and that was waking me up. And then I just go to the bathroom a little bit and and then go back to sleep. And that, I believe, is true because sometimes I'd wake up and I could tell I did need to use the restroom, but I didn't really need to go that badly, not enough that it should have awakened me. And so it made sense that that was probably the case. So, wow, this video is 20 minutes already. I wasn't paying attention to trying to keep them to 10 minutes. So, well, that was today, and things are going well. I'm really happy, and my body seems to be responding really well. Oh, I also had parasites come out already this morning, so that was good. So things are definitely going well, and I expected them to go well, and they are going well. And yeah, just gonna keep going. All right, talk to you next time.